Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about Crab Trapper, a whiskey flavored with invasive green crabs, is now available for sale on Seelbach. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Igley, as well as our special guests, Jeff Andrazy, Tim Swyatt, and Kathy Cool.
Hey gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey. Hey-oh. So yeah, we're going to be talking today about this green crab flavored whiskey. It is now available on Seelbach, which is a big deal. I mean, that's a nationwide distribution, shipping it to your door. Before we had heard about this, it was more of kind of a novelty thing. It's like, gotta come buy it at the distillery, and very tough to find. It's like, and they of course famously did the beaver anus flavored whiskey before that.
Beaver anal gland whiskey.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So there's like, oh, is this going to be their thing where they just do different crazy things that gets them, nationwide promotion, people writing about it. But this, maybe they're going serious with it, and we'll talk about that because now it's accessible to all of us, and we'll talk about that. Are we interested in that? We'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Jeff said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, sir?
Yeah, for the gang here, have you ever found yourself in a spot with other people when you realize you just don't belong?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of place is that? What settings have you realized?
So I went to a bourbon club one time. I got invited. Let's go to a bourbon club, and it was all high-end people from St. Louis. It was judges, and but not like our judge that we have on the show. It was judges and lawyers and fire chiefs and police chiefs, and it was just all First of all, I felt out of place. Second of all, none of them knew dick about whiskey, but they all act like they know everything about whiskey. So I have a hard time not jumping on these people, and I just was out of place the whole time, and I never went back, and nor would I ever go back to that group. They were assholes, really. I'm not my sort of people. I like hanging out with just normal working people, and I don't want to hang out with maybe the upper echelon is the way to go, and maybe I'm making a mistake there, especially I have a store now, but it's just not my folks. So I just like the normal everyday people. So yeah, that wasn't my thing.
High school.
Yeah, well, that's another good one.
No, there was in my 30s when I was like, I always need social outlets. So a friend of mine was like, well, I'm joining a book club. And I love books.
Sure.
I'm always reading books.
I always see you reading books, yeah.
Well, I don't read books when I'm drinking at the barrel shop or at events,
Right.
but I read a lot. And so I was like really excited. So I read the first book, and I go to this club, and we've all, like, some people know each other, some people don't, but there's probably 15 to 20 women in this room because, boys don't do book clubs. And they're going around the room and introducing themselves. And it's all, my name is Sally. I have 3 children.
Okay.
My husband and I moved to this area blah blah years ago. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was like, my name's Susie and I'm a nurse and I have 4 kids. And so they go around the room and they get to me and I'm like, my name's Kathy. I love to read. I'm really looking forward to getting other perspectives on books and talking about books.
Sure.
So you know what happens in a book club?
We just talk about your everyday lives. Yeah.
Nobody talks about the books.
What?
Right.
I thought that was the point of a book club.
I thought so too, Becca.
That was what it was for.
It's a reason to get together and talk.
It would be about the wine and the snacks.
Sure.
And so when we trade places of where we would have it, and I hosted in my house.
Whoa.
And I was like, nobody's going to go all the way to Florissant from where this was.
Sure.
Well, they all showed up because they wanted to see
how you live up there.
the judgy group.
Sure. Flamingo Lane.
And the whole thing was like, wait, so did you get this house in your divorce? I'm like, no, I bought this house. And I made them play a game about the book so that we would actually have to talk about the book while they had snacks. So that was probably the most time we ever talked about the story. But sometimes they would pick terrible books, and my friend and I would go and we would say, this book is terrible. I could hardly get through it. It's like, it's written by a man, but it's supposed to be from a woman's perspective, and you know he doesn't know what he's talking about. And everybody was like, oh, I thought it was fabulous. And I don't think they read them. So anyway, book club for me, I was
the book club.
really
You were out. You didn't fit in with the book club.
Yeah.
Well, that's a sad story. Okay.
Well, let's
Becca,
talk about
you?
how we feel great about not fitting in places.
Becca, did you ever not fit in any place?
I'm trying to think about times that I just felt weird at places. I mean, fancy stuff for sure is kind of just awkward. I'm sure it's not awkward for everyone, but sometimes we get invites to stuff, and it's stuff it's just a random invite. We're not some of the people that pay a bunch of money to get into these things. It's oh, cool, let's go to that. And it's oh, this is not for me.
Yeah.
This is a little bit too fancy.
I wouldn't mind being rich, but I don't want to live this rich lifestyle. I just want to be a normal person.
I think I prefer to grow up rich.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer to grow up rich and maintain just being have a trust fund or something, so that I knew how to just act and how to be in all those situations, because getting invited to them is just really awkward. It's just really weird. We went to the gala before. It was a really fancy gala we got invited to before Derby, and I was just what the fuck do I wear? And I don't have gala gowns. Mm-hmm. That's not something I just have in my fucking closet. Are you kidding me? And just everyone was dressed so nice, and I was this is not my thing. Not that I can't dress nice. It's just that that it's just way out of my realm of things. And I don't even know it. I'm sure some people could fake it, I guess, but it was just it's just weird. Really super fancy events like that. Royce took me to an all dressed in white. I gotta make sure I worded that correctly. Not an all white party, a all dressed in white party.
Yeah, that's kind of a big thing. That's kind of a big thing. Yeah.
Word that the appropriate way. That was also I was what the fuck do what the hell do I wear to this thing? Obviously white, so you were supposed to wear, but it felt like a cult. Thought someone was gonna get sacrificed, and so I just got blasted drunk. We met some CEOs of some different things. That's where I had to leave early because I got so fucking drunk off a martini. Like it
Oh.
was not
The upper
like,
crust is like, whoa, look at that. Whoa.
yeah, like I was trashed.
Look
Like
at
I left
that.
early. I drank, I think, like
Look at that.
6 martinis, like just straight vodka martinis, like 6 straight vodka
Check out
martinis
the redhead. Whoa.
before the event
Steve.
started. Like it was just like the cocktail hour, and I was like, the cocktail hour? Did you mean drink every cocktail before the
Jesus.
hour?
Jesus
And so that's
Christ.
what I did. And so they had all these like crazy fancy, like it was like an 8-course dinner.
Sure.
I think I had 2, and I was like, I gotta go home.
Yeah.
And I just ditched Royce at this like fancy party that was going on.
Yeah.
See that one pull the plug.
Don't take me to fancy stuff. I like to think that they're cool things, but like the actual like events, like fancy places are cool, but fancy
Right.
events, I don't know that I'm cut out for those type
Nah,
of
me
things.
either.
I just don't.
Plus, I don't dress up, so.
Yeah, I don't have the
my thing.
wardrobe for it. I don't. It's just not.
I'll pass. I'll just hang out
Yeah.
with the normal people. No.
Yeah.
Tim, how about you, man? What's
Well,
the
where does
place
it
you from?
start? You know, when you have a kid at 18 and all your friends and you chose your bitch before your bros, that's where that started. Glad I didn't get into the fraternity thing.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't get into that cult, all that bullshit.
Yeah, me either. No,
so,
I didn't do that.
You know, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, we'll make you an honorary senior year. We won't forget you. Come senior year, yeah, we're not doing that for you. I don't give a shit. But those girls stood up for the general. I'll tell you that. They brought her back in, which was nice because she sure as hell deserves some acknowledgement of that, of making a choice in what she did. But that, yeah, I mean, ever since all I've been doing is working. It's like kids and the parents at school of the kids, they don't know what to do with us because we're always working, double income, nobody's staying home. Both of us have side gigs on top of that, trying to grow up things, always trying to do something different. So, and then I mean, in my business, if folks will do enough research, it's not hard to find out what business I'm in. All that stuff, I got to play the game and all that stuff because I like to call myself a blue shirt, white collar instead of a full blue collar person. And I avoid all the fancy dinners. I avoid all the fancy fundraisers. I hate all that stuff. It's just not my scene. I don't know how to behave. I get weird in those situations. It's so crazy. Like it's so uncomfortable.
You're right with the frat parties. Those are, or the events. No, not. I don't understand. I don't understand the Greek life.
Right.
Do not get it. Cannot participate in that
Yeah,
stuff.
me either.
Awkward.
All right. Last but not least is Jeff, who asked the question. What? You seem to be a bit of a chameleon. Seems like you could fit in with anybody.
I try, but
Right.
I've noticed now, and I think as I get older, and I'm older, you start to recognize, who you really are, and so I go to a lot of concerts. I love concerts. I love going to music, but I tend to go to bands or artists that I grew up with. So I'm finally getting around to see them. So what I noticed, and just this past weekend, I attended a concert. It was held outdoors at a brewery in the Twin Cities, Grace Potter. Well, I didn't grow up with Grace Potter, and I realized when I'm in this, if I go to Night Ranger or Guns N' Roses or something like that, I'll look around the room and these are my people. There's a lot of gray beards in there. A lot of kids too, but there's a lot of people my age. I go to Grace Potter and there was one person older than me, I think, at this whole thing. And you just realize, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But I still to
Probably
your
your
point,
dad.
Steve, yeah, I'm still trying to have a good time. So I'm walking around with my red and blue wristband because I did have VIPness that night. And
That's why you brought it up.
I'm telling some jokes, and if you know who Grace Potter is, you'll know she's got all her parts in the right place. And so I'm asking, and I'd always go to a couple, a guy and a gal, and I'd ask them both, what are your thoughts on double-sided tape? And the dude would always go thumbs down, and the wife would always go thumbs up because she's got all her parts taped, and So anyway, it's just kind of but I know that kind of music, that kind of scene, probably not my thing. I'm going to be doing regularly. I kind of feel out of place, but I'm old enough and comfortable enough in my skin to kind of get by and have some fun. But I really don't fit in, and I stand out pretty easily, I think.
Well, there you go.
You could be
On that-
somebody's cake, Jeff. You never know.
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Swide on the set.
All right, I'm drinking a bottle of Isanti Spirits Rye Whiskey. This is their 11-year-old that Rick Schneider just put out. And appreciate it arriving in the mail today. Perfect timing for the podcast. Swide on the set. Fuck! It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
It was
I don't
explosive.
understand.
Right.
Damn
right.
it.
Russell's 10 vintage bottle.
There you go.
Vintage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm 15 years old at least, I'd say. So here we go. Quiet but the lead. Quiet but the lead right now. Yes. All right. Next up is KK.
I'm going to open up my Neely's Recipe Cream.
Okay.
Good one.
About third empty.
Okay. Probably the lead. Again, weak, but that's where we're at these days. All right. Becca's next.
I've got a bottle of Uncle Nearest that I got at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival that I got traded out with me for a bottle of bourbon cream.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
That was kind of explosive. So she's got the lead. Last but not least, so is Jeff. Jeff, what do you got, buddy?
I don't even know what this is. I picked it up yesterday in the Twin Cities. It's called the Clover Tennessee Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It's got a picture of Bobby Jones, the golfer, on there. It's got a little story.
Sure.
It's 122.7 proof. The Clover barrel strength.
Okay.
Let's give it a try.
Okay. Very good. Very good. But I'd say good for second. Becca wins that. So there you go. Cheers to Becca.
cheers, Becca.
Cheers.
Cheers, Becca.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this green crab flavored whiskey now available on Seelbach. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Danny Kennard, which is turning into Freddie Mills. Y'all have a good fucking day because this is the Bourbon Daily. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about crab bourbon.
Yes, we are. What do we know about this one, Kathy? What's out there on this one?
So, obviously, there's an invasion of these green crabs, and the company wanted to protect their coastal ecosystem.
Yep.
So they took them and made a deliciously weird spirit. And it's steeped with crab, corn, and low country boil blend mixture. Their tasting notes include the crab is present lightly on the nose, accompanied by the coriander and bay to smooth out any high notes.
All right.
The body carries hints of maple and vanilla oak notes, and the spirit finishes with heavier notes of clove, cinnamon, allspice, leaving a light, pleasant spice on the palate.
Okay.
Now, these are in 200 milliliter bottles.
Yep.
Going for $64.99.
Okay.
I will say the bottle, pretty
Looks
darn
cool.
cool.
The
Looks
bottle
super
looks
cool.
cool. Bottle looks cool.
They put the little rope around the neck, kind of like.
It's a good call by them. I like that.
Yeah, good design. The aesthetic is really cool.
Yeah, I really like the bottle.
I think they've created a sweet spot for themselves where it's a novelty. It's a stretch. It's expensive. I mean, if you crunch the numbers out, I mean, that's an expensive bottle of whiskey. But when you break it down, it's only 200 milliliters, and people do get a bottle out of it. And probably some people order it and think it's a $7.50. Don't even check. It ends up being an affordable novelty, I think. So I think there's a place for this. I feel like if someone brought it to a party, I wouldn't buy one of these. I would not spend my own personal money on this. But if someone had it, I would try it. I would be like, I want to see what that's all about.
Absolutely. I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I still can't picture what's a green crab versus a normal crab that you'd.
It looks like a crab, but it's
green. Yeah,
green.
The big factor in that versus the red crab would be it's green in nature. So
that's just green.
It doesn't have edible meat in it. Is it just so much smaller that it's not
It's
one
small.
of those types?
Yeah, I think they're small, right?
Yeah, and
Sure.
they're just destroying a coastline. So they get in there and screw things all up. So it's good to help get rid of them. I think I like that part of it. That's
And it's
good.
cool that they're, instead of just getting rid of them, they're doing something that can, like, I don't know if they're raising money or what the profits are going towards. It doesn't matter. And also, let me preface this with, I don't care if they're lining their own pockets or if it's going towards something else. It's cool regardless that it's like, hey, this stupid shitty crab, let's get rid of them and make some bourbon too.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it's awesome, honestly. I think it's pretty cool. The bottles, I also like that the bottle is actually a cool bottle. And so it is like, I don't think that you'd feel as bad buying it because, like, it is a cool little bottle.
And it's got a story. How many
it's
times of it you're hanging out with your friends or a group? You want a story, right? You want something, a conversation piece. This is a conversation piece. For
I
sure.
think it's
That's
cool.
what it provides. I thought I read maybe on their website that the bottle label is always going to be identical, but the embellishment or the extra
it might
may
change,
not be the
right?
same. So they maybe won't all have the twine or the net or whatever they're using there. But
Okay.
I think it's.
I really was thinking about, am I buying this for the flavor? And I don't think of bourbon when I'm thinking of having seafood usually, and getting that. No, it's usually, I took it that direction.
I think that's a good way to take it, though, Jeff.
Because
think about it. One of the things I do enjoy during the summertime is, shrimp boil. And this would be maybe a nice compliment to that. Hey, you're having a shrimp boil tends to be a thing where you invite a bunch of people over, right? So, okay, we're going to pair this with a shot of this Tamworth whiskey. Maybe that's kind of cool.
It might be, and there's, if you get the corn in your boil, that kind of thing. Right. Maybe it ties back in that way. But
so I did a little more research on the green crab itself, and they just sound like a tiny, angry little woman.
They're pretty badass.
They're only 10 centimeters.
Okay.
Oh.
Their colors vary from green to red or yellow, but they looked kind of purple in the pictures.
Okay.
So it's a darker green, and their temperament is territorial and aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're just tiny, angry little crabs.
So 4-inch crabs with anger issues.
Yeah.
Well, they've been documented to devour juvenile king crab as well as juvenile salmon.
My
Wow.
God.
Badass for that small guy. I mean, king crabs. King crabs. We all start small, but it looks like they
Sure.
were introduced in the 1800s off of shipping lanes and stuff like that, and they kind of spread along the coast all over the place. Like Alaska's like all over this thing right now. All the stuff I found is like Alaska's like hitting it big because they're starting to take out all the eelgrass for any fish larvae and the salmon spawns and all that stuff, and Dungeness crabs. Where they hide and everything, they're out competing Dungeness crabs. So Dungeness crabs is definitely for food.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say anything that these things are actually edible or even worth it. They're little gangly looking things.
Yeah.
And they do warn you that if you find one or its shell, take photos and report it.
Correct.
Should you just kill it or?
It says
I think they're
don't
probably
tamper
fine with
with
you killing it. Yeah.
Well,
I think
that's
maybe
even better. Like, kill them and make them into whiskey. Like, I think that's fantastic. Also, I just really love the label that it's just literally just a crab.
Yeah,
It doesn't really
that's
look
cool.
like it until you look at the bottle. Like, it kind of just looks like, oh, it's a cool bottle. And you're like, oh, that's actually a little crab on there. And is that
You're
wax on it? Like, do you have to take off the twine?
blue. I would imagine. Well,
I don't know if that was
someone's
below
gonna have
the-
to buy one and figure this out.
I know.
Yeah,
I would actually taste it. Now, let's talk about drinking it. Like, would you want to drink it like that? I think it'd be really good. Obviously, it's kind of an expensive one, but I think it'd be good in like a Bloody Mary. Or when people make those the really. Steve, were you there when I puked the oyster shot back into my glass?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was
It'd
nice.
probably be good in that, the oyster
Sure.
shot.
Sure.
'Cause it's more just fucking seafood anyways, and it's a
Yeah.
shot.
Correct.
It'd probably be a
Bugs.
good pairing with that. Or in a Bloody Mary.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you could use it to enhance your boil.
Yeah.
But at this price, that's kind of
A
expensive.
little
That's
expensive, yeah.
the price.
The
is-
alcohol
is-
burn off
Yeah.
on the boil would be. Oof.
Yeah.
Flavors
But I
there.
think in
Maybe
like
you
a
can
Bloody
add it to
Mary
your
or an
cocktail
oyster
sauce.
shot,
An
or you
oyster
can make
shot,
it into
yeah.
a crab shot where you put like a whole crab leg into it and you have to
Okay.
like eat the crab or like you take the shot, eat a crab leg or something.
Ooh, that would be fun.
There's it's a
I was
place for
thinking
this
more
one,
of it
yes.
of using like when you're in a crab boil and you're using your hands. It would be in like a little dippy cup to dippy your fingers, and then you lick your fingers off, and then
Now you're thinking,
Go
Kathy. I
back
like
in.
that.
There we go.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Steve's like, no.
do the cats follow you
Just
home
sucking your
after you
fingers.
drink this stuff?
The cats follow you home. Yes. You
Yeah,
go-
they're going to be
smell
following
like
you
crab.
home after you
Yeah.
drink this stuff. Yeah, oozing it out your pores and
Yeah.
Well, at 200 milliliters, I don't think anyone's going to ooze it out of their pores.
That's
Oh.
good point. Good
Oh,
point.
there you go.
But I usually buy two.
So there you go.
Got to buy a backup.
Got
Both
to
for
buy a
two.
backup.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely they took it to the next level here. I feel.
The novelty,
And, yeah,
nice.
there's a place for it. So I don't know if you're placing an order with Seelbach anyway. Maybe consider doing that. Sidecar, adding it on. Just a little something extra. So
I'm
if you
interested
get it-
to see what they come up with next.
yeah. What's next? So we'll see.
Human
All right.
feces smoked barley.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez, why would
on.
you
Tim,
even say
Tim
that?
took it too
Already done.
far once again.
Deeper anal glands. We're not that far away.
We're getting closer. Okay. I thought this was a step in the right
Let's be
direction.
honest.
That would be a complete fallback. Back into a bad place.
Oh.
There you go.
There you go.
We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We'll start with you, Jeff. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me fishing for crabs on the East Coast, but also Facebook and Instagram, Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's and 2 Z's.
Okay. Kathy,
You can find me on Instagram at KK Cast Strength.
Tim,
You can find me staying away from crabs at Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and on YouTube at Our Flagship Whiskey.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're in suburban St. Louis, Arnold, Missouri. Check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Farnets, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.